Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday and Mackmyra Life. Welcome back to another episode. A very special show tonight we've got for you. We're going to be covering our Black Friday deals, and I've got my colleague over here, Richard, helping me out. Hello, Richard. How are you this evening?
Hello. Very good, Gareth. Very good. Thank you for asking. Looking forward to this.
Excellent. Well, you know, we've been keeping the lid on these deals for a number of weeks now, but they're finally coming out. And on our website, mackmyra.co.uk, we've got 4 deals in 4 days, Fab 4, and you know, they are just the fantastic deals. And we're going to go through them for you tonight, these 4 deals in a little bit of detail. But there is a special thing you can do. If you get onto that website, sign up for the newsletter, you'll get early access, like 2 hours earlier than everybody else to those deals. So please go on there, sign up, and get yourself in the head of the queue. It's like being at the front of the queue at the fun fair, isn't it, Richard?
Thereabouts, yeah, and probably about as much money.
So 4 deals, 4 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Let's start with deal 1. Over to you, Richard. Tell us all about it.
So deal one comes out on the 27th, so on Friday, the first of the 4 daily deals that we've got. It's the moment package. So it's got 4 of our moments in. You can see there the Effa, the Prestige, the Fjällmark, and the Caribbean. So we're going to have a taste, I think, Gareth and I, of the Effa and talk a little bit about what's in there. You know, the 4 in total. But anyone that doesn't know what a moment is, so moment are our top level package, basically, or top level line of the 3 that we have, being the core, the seasonal, and the moment package. So moment is the word. It captures a moment in time. It could be some special casks that Angela has found, you know, whilst walking through our warehouses and sampling casks as she goes. Or it could be working in collaboration with somebody special from Sweden and you know, having influence and help from them in selecting something. And so in the deal, we've got those 4 bottles, and they are what price have we got them at, Gareth? 275.
We've got them, yeah. The list price on those 4 together, Richard, is 421 list price. We're saving £146. Now, what are the 4 that we've got? What are the general? What's the breakdown of the 4 that we have? And then we'll go into a bit of detail into one of them. What's the range that we have?
Yeah. So Prestige. We have, that's our what we call our champagne cask finish. But obviously, you know, champagne bubbly doesn't go into cask. So this is from the wine, or the grapes and the wine that would go on to make champagne and become champagne, from one of the best producers of it around as well, that only use Grand Cru and Premier vineyards. So a producer called Philip Honat, if anyone's aware.
Philip Honat.
Yeah. So that one. So the Prestige is crisp. So, you know, you can definitely get the white wine or white grape in influence to it.
I get grapefruit in that one, Richard. Grapefruit.
I've had some of that, some of that sort of sharper notes, sort of tart sort of notes to it as well. But then also like a pear fudge and caramel base to it as well. So great balance. The Caribbean, which I know, Gareth, is probably one of your favourites of the whole range, which is our rum cask influenced moment. So we've taken Beautiful. Rum casks from Jamaica and Barbados, from the oh crikey! Well, I can never remember the name.
Mesoforand, it's plantation. Yeah,
plantation. That's what I was coming back round to it. Yeah, so from plantation rum, which now again, you know, one of the foremost, you know, producers in their field as well. Same as Philip Honat from the Prestige. The Fjällmark, which is probably possibly the most Swedish of the 4 that we have. Maybe that and the Effa would be sort of, you know, title contenders. The Fjällmark has had cloudberry wine cask influence to it. So cloudberries are one of the most sought after berries, you know, in Sweden, around Scandinavia.
Indigenous.
Yeah, exactly. These sweet little berries that you can make sort of look like little half yellow, half pink sort of clouds, like raspberries, but of a different colour. Very, very sought after delicacy over in Sweden, and yeah, we've used casks that have held cloudberry wine into them as well. And that is, for me, it's unlike anything else, which I'll probably say when we get to the Effa as well, in terms of, you know, contrast and things. But you have to try it to see what it's like. I know it went down very well on the Somerton Festival, where you were hosting, actually, Gareth, I think, as well.
That's right, yes. 2,000 samples went out for that one, and 1,000 of the Fjällmark, and it was very popular indeed, very popular.
Yeah, so that's it. And then the Effa, which I will have to last, because I think that's we're going to pour a glass of it now.
We certainly are.
And this is this, because we've got 4 packs to talk about with, you know, lots of whiskies within each. You know, we can't drink them all, I'm afraid, because we'll be here for too long, and we'd have probably too much fun.
So let's not beat about the bush, Richard. This is our top of the range stuff. These moments are the business. I mean, a pack of 4 of them is like incredible, and the value that you're getting for getting 4 of them together, it's incredible. Now, I know this is one of your favorite, Richard. Why do you love this one?
Well, so see, this is, I said I was going to say it when we got to it about, you know, haven't had anything like it before. This, when I first came across Mackmyra, this was at the table at a festival I came to. We met our manager, Shane Peary. And this is the first thing that he presented me with, and I'd never heard of Swedish whiskey before. You know, I'd never heard of it, let alone tried any of it or got close to it. So I had a nose of this, and I've never had anything like it on the nose at all. And it could be the fact that one of the casks of the 20 that have been used is a cherry wine cask. So the first 19 casks that have gone into this, and something, if I hadn't mentioned, you know, off the top, something special about the moments is they're so few in their number. You know, this one we've got 4,111 bottles, yeah, and some of them can be 1,100 or 1,500. They're what a real small batch whiskey is, you know, anywhere from 4 to, you know, 20 or so casks. So 19 of these casks were Oloroso, ex-bourbon and American oak, but the majority of those had been saturated with and treated with Swedish birch sap wine. So again, you know, this is another one of the arguably, you know, most quintessential Swedish ones that we've got in the moment range, I'd say. But Swedish birch sap wine is something you don't come across too often as well. So it's quite a special thing to have something here. And the sweetness that comes with that wine as well, the sweetness and sort of slight dryness to it. But then, you know, we've added a cherry wine cask in from those original 19 when we were putting it together.
I think Effa herself, who's Effa Attling, a Swedish sort of jewelry designer who we did the collaboration with, she asked for something a little bit sweeter and asked for that extra cherry wine to be put in. And she also designed that fantastic bottle cap on the top there, a lovely silver bottle cap. With our little logo on the top there. So yeah, there it is. Thanks for that. Popping that up. Effa Attling. So it's named after her, the collaboration. But I love the kind of like chocolate and gingerness that comes out of this. I get a really warm, nice glow when I drink this one, which is a fantastic one.
So it's just unique. I think when I tried it, I went away for a year, went back to the same festival, and then bought a bottle when I came back. So I thought, right, I'll try that again when I come back. And it was as good as I thought it was a year ago. Yeah, and it was, and I bought it. So yeah, this is one of the ones I actually had before joining and before becoming an ambassador.
And the uniques about the moments are it's got the dimples on the bottom, the 8 dimples for the forefathers allegedly, and a recycled inner tube around the middle here. And a recycled cap made out of the rings of barrels that are recoopered. So we're all very green on that. So brilliant.
Why do we have recycled bicycle hoops, Gareth? People know.
Well, to keep the lids on, keep the labels on, because these are loose.
But why are they loose? Is it for recycling purposes? Is it because in Sweden they have a?
No, these labels are made to be collectible. These are collectible labels for people who basically, because moments come and go, they're never repeated. So they're a moment in time, literally. So people collect these labels. You take this inner cycle off, and it comes off, and these are collectible. So let's just recap them, Richard. £421 worth of our finest top of the range whiskey. It's reduced down by £146 to just £275. But that's not all. What did they get included, Richard?
Oh, a free T-shirt as well, I believe.
That's the one.
Yes, yeah, that's it. If you didn't think the deal was good enough already, there's a free T-shirt in it for you.
Specify your size, of course. You know, I'm sure we got a few of them around available, but it is the full package. And to be honest, we could just stop there because deals don't tend to get better, much better than that, I don't think. But maybe they do. Who knows? Shall we move on to deal number 2 then?
Yes, let's do it. Let's say deal number 2.
Okay, deal number 2. We're going to put the moments to one side. So deal number 2. This deal is on the next day. So that was the Friday deal, the Black Friday deal. This is Saturday's deal. So again, 9 o'clock start. You've done the moment. This is the seasonal pack. So we've done the moment range, which is our top of the range. And then we do the seasonal pack, and there it is. Look at those 6. we got there. So we got Skrudetit, with my best Swedish accent there, which is a Massi Amarone red wine cask finish. There are only 5 cases of that left in the world, I believe, so very rare to get that. Vinterglad, which is an absolute gorgeous, made with mulled wine. We're going to taste that tonight. Intelligence, which is our collaboration with Microsoft in doing artificial intelligence and doing tasting notes and coming up with recipes. Apple Blum, which was the Christian Druan collaboration using their fabulous aged Calvados casks to get apple and apple squared, apple boom, we call it. And then we got the Svensruk, American X. Well, the Svensruk is a smoky whiskey that we do, but then we do a version of it in American Oak, which is a slightly deeper, funkier, smokier flavor. And fantastically last is the Gruv Gold. Now that is literally from the gold from the mine, and that is a selection of 30-liter casks, little casks that age really quickly. So they're a fabulous set of 6 whiskies that you've got there. The list price, not quite as big as the Moments, but the list price is £382.90. But no, we're not going to do that. We are going to knock off a whopping £157, and we're going to do it for £225, including a free gift, which we'll mention later. Not quite a t-shirt, but it is a free gift. So Saturday, 20th of November, 9 o'clock, unless you sign up early and sign up for the newsletter, in which case you can get on there 7 o'clock in the morning GMT and get those deals early. So 6 of them there, magic stuff. I wanted to taste out of this one the Vinterglad, because it's Christmas time, and this is made with the mulled wine that they do, a Saturnus mulled wine in Sweden that they season casked with. There it is, Swedish mulled wine. And oh, look at that! And that's what it looks like to drink it. And I'm sure everybody's been to a Christmas market and tasted this. And somehow they've managed to get this flavour of the glug inside the whiskey as well. So I'm going to pour this one. Oh, by the way, if we haven't mentioned it by now, free shipping, guys. No shipping costs at all when you're buying this kind of scale of stuff. Shipping is all inclusive, so don't need to worry about that. It's all the way on shipping. Right, okay. So about 10% of the recipe of this going in is the mulled wine inside that. It's got sherry cask and some American oak as well inside it. But it's just got a wonder. It kind of smells of Christmas to me, Richard. What do you think?
I was just thinking that exact same thing. So I think this is probably only the 4th, I think, time I've opened this year, because we had a bottle for one of our cocktail shows that we did with Camille Sonker, our fellow brand ambassador, star behind the bar, and he did something with the Vinterglad. I think we were doing a summer winter contrast.
Winter, that was it, yeah.
Yeah. And
it was the middle of summer, and I had to dress up in my winter gear and big thick jumpers. I was boiling.
That's it. Yeah. Well, I tried it then, and I really enjoyed it, and I thought to myself, "Oh, this will be blooming lovely in winter." And I guess maybe I've been in denial about the change of seasons until just now, and having to open it for tonight. But so I haven't opened it yet, even though I've probably been an opportunity or two the last few weeks. But I think now this bottle's going to go quite quickly over the coming weeks. It's just warm.
Christmas spice.
Yeah, I feel a warmth just on the nose. I haven't even gone to the palate yet. I feel already as though like I've got a winter's dram coursing through my veins. Yeah.
2 foot of snow outside. The snow's settling nicely, and just get a bit of this. Oh, wonderful stuff. So this is part of the 6-pack. So you're getting a 6-pack of the seasonals. You can't complain there. That's such a magic range. And on top of that, not only are we going to give you all that discount, but the free gift for the seasonal range is an official Mackmyra cap. There you go. I haven't even got one of those. There it is on the top right there. You've got to go and reach up for the top of the tree to catch it on the blossom there. I think that's the apple blossom. If you can reach that, you can have the cap. But yes, go online either 9 o'clock or 7 o'clock if you sign up for our newsletter on the website, and get in there and get that range. I mean, that's six bottles, 670L bottles, isn't it? All of that. It's just fantastic value. I know it's a little bit of investment, but think of it as a party pack for the winter, for Christmas. You know, now we've got 23rd to the 28th, where 3 family groups can get together, get that range out, put it on the shelf, and they'll be delighted. I'm absolutely sure they will.
Well, I'll say, Gareth, that of those, that, you know, all limited edition in their number, you know, and some good, and really good ones in there. But Herdeted is by far my favourite of them. But Herdeted is I think one of my favourite of all of our whiskies. Full stop. As soon as I tried it, I think back in March, it might have been, you know, when you and I first met, actually, you know, at the start of March this year. I got the bottle there from Milroy's where we were doing a tasting, and I've gone through it rather rapidly since.
I'm a huge fan like you. Go on.
I was only going to go on, Gav, just to say, anyone that is watching, let us know. You know, as you see any of the offers that we flash up, if there are any drinks or bottles in there in particular that you fancy, let us know. And if we've got a moment or two, perhaps we'll give you a fact or a tasting note or something like that if you're curious. So give us a comment and let us know.
I was just going to say, Richard, the Massi Amarone is a favourite of mine wine anyway, so it sits beautifully in that cask. But a versatile range. You've got some really fruity numbers, you've got some spicy numbers here, and you've got the smoky numbers as well. So you've got a nice range of seasonal whiskies. And seasonals, as the name suggests, they're linked to a season. They're limited numbers, maybe 10 to 12,000, up to 15,000 maybe, and they last maybe about 18 months. So some of these are now coming to the end, and new ones come in. You know, we've got our just recently our Yak Liquor autumnal release that came out fairly recently as well. That will be coming in soon as well onto that pack, I'm sure. So a great value pack with a hat. That's on Saturday, 9 o'clock or 7 o'clock if you got the early bird deal.
Lovely.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. So why don't we go on? Go on.
I was only before we finish on there. I just wanted to mention the finish on it because, you know, I was talking about the nose a moment ago, and while you were then, you know, telling everyone about the offer a bit more, I had a sip, and the finish again. You know, I've said it 3 times already, I think, but unlike anything I've tried before, I don't think I've ever had something influenced with mulled wine, even though it was only a small amount, and you know it's balanced in, so it's not to overpower. Yeah, that is rather unique, but I can't quite put my finger on what it is. But it does make me feel as though I'm in a, you know, Christmas market somewhere, you know, eating or drinking whatever they've got. It gives me that sense of place, I think.
Yeah, it does give that sense of occasion, that warmth, being outside with the people and the cold and the glow, and getting that sharing stuff. It's a shame we're probably not going to see any Christmas markets around Europe this year. I'm afraid they're off the agenda. So have your own little Christmas market in your own house with a Winterglad. That's what I would recommend. So anyway, that's number 2. We're halfway through. 2 deals down, 2 deals to go. We've done Friday, Saturday. What's going to happen on Sunday, Richard? It's your deal, number 3. What's it all about?
Well, sorry, I'm just clearing out my glass there. You caught me unawares. Yeah, so we're moving on to the. I just want to say, when we're washing up, Gareth, the amount of shows and tastings we've got to do, I can't just keep cleaning 4 or 5 glasses every night. I think so. I'm always on the rinse and clear. So just one check. Yeah. So we move on to the Explorer pack. The Explorer pack is our of all the packs probably the most diverse and versatile, we might say, with the options that we have in it. So we've got Brooks whiskey, which you can see on the left there. Brooks is one of our core range whiskies, 41.4% ABV. It is our breakfast whiskey, we refer to it as. So depending on how good a start to the day you feel like having, it's something that you could probably get away with having at more or less any time. It's light, it's bright, it's got heaps of fruits and warm spices to it, and of all the core range, I think sometimes you ask me, you know, one day of 4, I'd probably say that was my favourite one. The Mac, moving on to the next. So Mac, I used the word versatile a moment ago. This pack being versatile, the Mac is brilliant to drink on its own as a single malt. Or it's versatile in that it can be used in a myriad, in all sorts of different cocktails. And I know that Camille Sonka, again, to talk about Camille, he uses Mac as a base in lots of the cocktails.
Super flavours. Yeah.
So yeah, you've got the Svensk Ek and the Svensk Ruk, the next 2 on there. So Svensk Ek being Swedish Oak. So that's our, you know, a really Swedish one, again, if you'll allow me. So ex-bourbon maturation, but for the last 18 months of it, 10% of that liquid was transferred into Swedish Oak casks, which gives our I talked about light and bright for the Brooks whiskey, fruits and warm spices, orchard fruits in particular. Svensk its influence on those fruits, to me, gives it a cooking effect. I'll say it again and again because that's exactly what it does for me. It was like an epiphany when I found it. So the apples become, baked apples, apple pie, warm caramelized pears instead of fresh pears in the Brooks. And again, warm spices, dark chocolates, things like that. I could talk all day about the Svensk. I love it. Svensk Rook was the next one in there. So that's Swedish Smoke, which is, we'll probably come on to talk about that. I think actually it's worthwhile expanding a little bit on what our peating process is, why it's so unique and different, and I think
do a
very
deep dive
interesting
on that.
Yeah, so Swedish Smoke, you've got a yak liquor, which is the latest from our seasonal range, which is lingonberry and blueberry wine influenced whiskey, and that's gone down very well since it started as well. And talking about Vinterglad and the last one from the seasonal pack being, give you a sense of time or place or occasion. I think you used the word, that's better. Yak liquor does the same sort of thing for me. It feels like an autumn release. It's warm and fruity, and I really enjoy that one too. But then talk about diversity. We've also got two of our gins, because if you didn't know, if you're not a big fan of, or follower of us for our gin, I know there are a number of people that are, but whiskey is probably what we're most known for. We've got two excellent gins, and they are really good. Both organic, all sorts of different natural, organic obviously, but Swedish based botanicals go in there. And both delicious. And so if you're into gin at all, or you live in a household with somebody who's more into gin, or you want something that's got a bit of diversity in one of these packs, that's the one. You have 5 really, really great whiskies, 2 excellent gins, and a pack of or a case, a 12 pack case of our own Creator tonic water that we make as well ourselves, again with natural ingredients, and all made in-house ourselves to our own specifications. So you can see the price there. It's at £199.99. That would have been £315.50. So you're saving £115 to buy those all at one. And wow. I think the packages at this time of year, I think that could suit people quite well. That's you lump out a good bit of money in the start, but you end up with a huge amount of stuff there to have, and you've saved over 100 quid on them at the same time. So even if you think you're going to take 6 months to drink them, you can get it all in now, squirrel it away for the winter, wait for your spring to come to open some of them, and Bob's your uncle, you're happy.
Fantastic. So we're going to taste a couple of them, but just remember, it's free delivery as well. Free delivery on this one, as on the last 2 packs as well. The big packs all come with free delivery. So that's straight to your door, no messing. Within a day or two, that'll be rocking up at your doorstep. So I'm going to have a look at the Swedish Oak. I know you talked quite a bit about that. You haven't left me much to say, Richard.
Oh, sorry. I was keen to talk about the Swedish Oak. I thought I might leave you to the smoke.
No, that's fine. We can chop and change. It's not a problem. I mean, the Swedish Oak is wonderful. As Richard said, it's 10% of the recipe. It says on the front of the thing there, 10%. There it is. So it's powerful stuff. And Swedish Oak is very slow growing, takes hundreds of years, very expensive, and it's got a very tight grain, which just imparts a hugely spicy, effervescent flavor. So you've got to handle it with care. It takes over 2 years to cut and dry the staves off and have them ready for preparation in the cooperage. But it is a quintessential ingredient from Sweden. And Mackmyra, they so wanted to have their own local terroir and local ingredients. So Swedish Oak, it was absolutely imperative that they got their own Swedish Oak, and they did. And it's used widely. And some of the recipes have a lot more in this. But this is a great example of what Swedish Oak does to the elegant whiskey that goes inside it, and it really peppers it up. You don't get so much of it on the nose, but when you actually taste this stuff, it does really tingle the tongue, doesn't it, Richard?
There is. I think I chop and change between what my favourites. So I think if you ask any whiskeyman what their favourite whiskey is, they'll tell you it depends what day you ask me. And we have to do quite a number of tastings with Svensk involved, because it's part of our core range. That's one that we revisit regularly, and I'm never upset to come back to it. I think it's got a great body to it. It's got lovely characteristics to you can get the the Mackmyra spirit character you can tell in there, but it's just slightly altered because of that Swedish oak that's gone into it, and talked about that influence there. It gives like a bitter perhaps sort of influence. It's fewer wood sugars you can find in Swedish oak than you might find in American oak, from ex-bourbon casks in particular. But that bitterness bitter, I don't want bitter to sound as bitter doesn't sound too appetizing, I think, if you look at it just a word on its own. But if you look at dark chocolate, perhaps compared to milk chocolate, dark chocolate is more bitter than milk chocolate, but it's still delicious. Well, to me it is anyway. But I think that Swedish oak it's unique. It's unique. It's just tasty. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, it's good. It like I say, the core range. We've talked about the moment range. We've talked about the seasonal range, and the core range is what's ever present. And that first one you mentioned, the Brooks whiskey, is our oldest recipe, Richard, from the original distillery that we had way back when, and it's still going strong. Such a great combination of flavors and ABV. And these are kicking out at 46.1, Angela's favorite ABV, and so there's a good bit of alcohol in them, but this one's got the spice as well in there as well. Not bitter, but spice. As Richard said, it's a nice glow.
Yeah.
And Richard, you're gonna talk about the other side, the dark side, the smokier side. What do you got there?
Yeah. So this was the second dram that I tried actually when I met Shane, and tried the Effa that I talked about at the beginning, the moment that I'm so fond of. This is the second one I had, and again, this is something. It was once again, to repeat myself, this was something unlike anything I'd had or tried before. But in so many.
Have you tried much before, Richard?
No, well, I mean, have a look. They're all closed. I haven't opened any of them. None of them have been tried, of course. But because of our unique peating process and the way we go about actually getting the smoke and the peat flavour into our whiskey. It has a unique flavour that comes along with it. So one of the things that at the very beginning of our Mackmyra's journey in 99 and 98 was the founders thinking that they wanted to do something that was just a proper Swedish whiskey, not just an extension of Scotland, another Scottish whiskey that happened to be made somewhere else. They wanted it to be unique, and that goes beyond just using, as we do, just using Swedish ingredients. They wanted to have a few other things to make it different and stand it apart. So with our peating process, they experimented with a number of different ingredients that you could add to the peat while the peat was glowing hot and getting its smoke up into the barley, getting infused within. One of the successful one was adding dried juniper twigs to that peat being burnt. So we can see dried juniper twigs here. It's not gin, it's not juniper going in. These are juniper branches. We are donated them from the local power company who clear the power lines, of things overgrowing, and we get them from them. And adding that juniper branch to it is only about 1% of the mass through the peating process is these dried juniper twigs. But to me, it adds something that a friend of mine, and I reference him almost every time I talk about this whiskey. He described, the nose and the palate, but especially the nose, as being like a campfire in the rain. So campfire smoke, but then there's like a wetness to it or something. And for me, I'm convinced that comes from the juniper branches. That's what I believe anyway. But that campfire in the rain, or returning to a barbecue, the morning after, if there's been a light rain overnight perhaps. But it's smoky with a bit of wetness to it. But then there's berries to it. There's some sweetness underneath. So smoky and sweet for me is a perfect combination in just about any whiskey. And this has got those characteristics in abundance.
Yeah, it's a wonderful blend, and quite unlike a lot of the acerbic, peaty, acidic, smoky flavors that you get from the peaty flavors that you get from maybe South Coast Islay whiskies and things like that, Islas. So it really stands out alone. And this is done obviously in some Swedish oak, but we do the American X version of that as well, the American oak version of the same liquid, Richard, don't we?
Yes. Well, yeah. So this is. It's the same recipe, but the Spence Rook Amerikansk Ek, which we've got in the seasonal pack, that was in the seasonal pack.
Seasonal.
So the differences in it. So it's the same liquid, the same peated recipe has been used. The peated new make spirit has gone into those casks, but the Spence Rook that we have now, there's Oloroso, American oak, Swedish oak, and ex-bourbon casks have gone into its recipe. Whereas the Spence Rook Amerikansk Ek is Swedish Smoke / American Oak.
American wood.
So yeah, so it's American oak cask has been used for it, and so I think it's the American Skek is 5 years old, but because it's gone into virgin American wood, you've got all these rich, sweet flavors and this heavy influence come into it.
Vanillins.
And you only in there for a short time. So I think now there's a big craze at the moment for the people that are getting cottoning on to the fact that young smoky whiskey is where it's at. If you like a smoke influence to your whiskey, the younger, more often the better. So that the American Skek for me is just it's smooth with its like sweetness to it, but also this big fiery smoke.
I find it about an extra smoke. It just feels an extra bit smoky than the Svenska Rök, the American Skek. It's a wonderful. I think they're only going to put it in as a temporary, but it's so popular. It's part of our kind of like regular range now. It'll come back, I think. Yeah. So let's wind up this day 3 deal then, Richard. Remind us again, what have we got on day 3? This is Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just reminding which day we're on. Sunday the 29th, isn't it?
Sunday, that's it. Yeah, so this comes out Sunday the 29th. It comes out at 9 a.m. But if you've signed up to our mailing list and to the Black Friday mailing list, you'll get a notification before everyone else, and you'll have an early access link where you can get on 2 hours before everyone else as well. So out on Sunday is £199.99, down from 315. So it's £115 in savings. 5 bottles of whiskey, 2 bottles of gin, and 12 bottles of tonic water. So this is if you yourself and your couple, your partner, whoever you might live with, or if you live with friends, or you just got people that you'd like to share this about, a few quid in each. Take a pick of your bottles, and you can save a lot of money on that for a good amount of bottles as well.
The ultimate party pack, I think, there, Richard. Ultimate.
That's not what I call it, yeah.
We're coming to our last deal of the night of the weekend, and this is a fairly special one, the 4th deal. This is our Christmas special tasting pack. Now this is a little treat, so you don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds on this one. You're going to get some really, really rare stuff in here, just for a small amount of money. So we got the Christmas pack. There it is. So look what we got on there, the Christmas tasting pack. We have the Motorhead. Did you know we did the whiskey for Motorhead, and we do Scorpions as well? We do collaboration with those. So a fantastic whiskey there. A very bourbon influence, as you can imagine. We've got another 5cl sample of Vinterglad, and we talked about that earlier. Christmassy winter drink with the mulled wine, an excellent one. And then the third one along, the moment of brand new one, Shush Bush Rook. That's easy for me to say, but if you see it on the bottle, it's Scores Bars Rock. But there it is, Shush Bush Rook, which is smoky and cherry, which is a great combination. And last but not least on that list, you've got what we have is a very rare ambassador pick cask. So this is a single cask. That's been picked by the ambassadors for bottling and available in the UK. Now we've just got 30 bottles of this left. It's pretty rare, and it's cask number 7386, and it's a lovely smoky Oloroso, smoky sherry. So we got smoky cherry and we got smoky sherry going on as well. So a fabulous little tasting set, and that is available to you at a stunning just $28.95. Now, if you know, we do free shipping if you buy 50 quid's worth of stuff. So quick math says if you buy 2 of them, you'll get free shipping. And but the back part of it is that we're doing a tasting on the back of this in December, or on the 27th of December, and you can join us live to go through all 4 of these. And myself and Mickey Plummer, another brand ambassador, will go there and we'll enjoy these and talk you through these. So they're great for yourself. And a great price point to maybe as a little gift for the whiskey lover in your life. So again, price $28.95. They're easy to get. There's a fairly limited number, but get in there quick. So this is the Monday morning deal. So Cyber Monday, they call this one. I don't know where that came from, Cyber Monday, but 9 o'clock. So I'm going to taste the ambassador cask in this, but you don't have that, Richard. So you're going to taste the Shush Bush Rook, yes?
Yeah, thanks for rubbing it in. Yeah, so I'm going to try. Well, the Shush Bush Rook is a lovely dram anyway, so I'm sure I'll get it. a sample of what you've got there at some point. Yeah.
Well,
so
tell us about that smoky cherry. Tell us about the smoky cherry.
Yeah. So it's actually I think it's released today. People were able to start start sort of shipping out today. Pre-orders are over. 25th was the launch date. So yeah, shush bash look. I think there are fewer than 100 bottles left available with us now. If you go onto our website of it already, we only had 240 allocated to the UK. So over half have gone before it even actually come out. 4 casks have gone into it, so it's only 1,500 number of bottles for this whiskey. 4 casks, 2 are unpeated casks, and 2 are our smoketail whiskey casks. Smoketail. So smoketail is something that I haven't heard or seen anyone else utilising this sort of cask or marking them the way that we do, but something that Angela is quite sort of keen on doing it and does every time. We are a distillery that does a peated run, produces peated whiskey some parts of the year and unpeated the other parts of the year. So when we've made an unpeated spirit run and a period of time of making that whiskey, no matter how much, when we do a smoky run, let me start with that, rewind all the way back. When we do a smoky run, when we do a smoky run of whiskey, no matter how much you scrub out the inside of the still or your equipment at that point, there's always an element, there's just a hint of smoke left in the equipment. You really can't get rid of it, and just a hint of it though. But so Angela, for the first 2 or 3 unpeated whiskey runs after a smoky one, we will mark those casks with a big X to say smoke tail whiskey. So it's our elegant unpeated recipe going through, but it just has a hint of smoke comes with it, and it just means that Angela is able to play with sort of more delicate levels of smoke and try and balance things in with a more delicate approach rather than the heavy end of the Svensk Rook Americans get. Gareth, you were saying about how much more smoky that is perhaps than the Svensk Rook. This is the other way, but because I don't know how it's worked out, because perhaps they've been smaller casks that have been used on the smoke tail whiskey. It's got a big punch of smoke to it to me. So these smoke tail things, there really is a difference between those. Yeah, it does come through. I haven't got it in my glass, but I've tasted it because I actually bottled all 800 bottles that went into this pack, and I a little bit did slip into my glass every now and then just to make sure for quality control purposes, Richard. And the smoky cherry it's wonderful. It's like reminded me of the little sort of cherry liqueurs used to get. It's a nice little cherry inside, but then wrapped in instead of chocolate, wrapped in a nice smoky layer around the outside. Beautiful, well, absolutely gorgeous. I'm glad you've mentioned the word cherry, because I probably should have mentioned that two of these casks previously held cherry wine. It was a German cherry wine, and the influence. So you've got a smoky cherry wine influenced whiskey, and again for maybe the 5th or 6th time, unlike anything I've tried before, unlike anything you might have tried before. But it is but we're the explorers of whiskey. We say that because of all the things that an innovative approach that we have to cask influences to whatever, all throughout the business is innovation around that, exploring things and working it out. But we should appeal to explorers of whiskey as well. If you feel as though you're an explorer of whiskey, or you'd like to see what things you can try, different things here and there. There are a number of different whiskies tonight that you should have on the list. Yeah, I mean, it's our latest, and do you know what? I think we've nearly sold out of it. Is that right? The pre-orders have taken nearly everything that we have on the stock, haven't they? Yeah. So we've got fewer than 100 bottles left of this on our site. Wow. So you're going from smoky cherry to smoky sherry. So do you like what I did there? A little bit of a crossover. That was the one line that we wrote for everyone watching. That was the one line that we wrote for tonight, and Gareth's been waiting to get it in. So well done. I did it. And a quick shout out to Anders. Yes, thanks, Anders. The quality control is right. The right stuff went in the right bottles. I can assure you of that, my friend. Here it is. And this is cask 7386. Now, just to remind everybody, the tasting for this is on the 27th of December. So 29th. Sorry, Gareth. Yeah. 29th? Oh, there he is, 29th. Yes, you're absolutely right. 29th at 7 p.m.
There's no early bird for that one for 29th of December. So it's join us for that after Christmas, in that little lull between Christmas and New Year, when you think about what to do. So I mean, this is a fabulous. This was bottled in 2018, and when they took it to the bottle, the smell of the smoke on this, let me tell you, it's really pungent, the smoke, but also the sweetness of the sherry comes through as well. And when you put it in your mouth, it's just one of the most fabulous whiskies I've had in a long time. Full cask strength that's in there. So we got it at 46.2, which was the cask that as it comes out of. Absolutely wonderful. So,
Skull again.
Oh, Skull. Oh, that's so good. And only 30 bottles of this left in the UK. So this is your chance to taste something pretty rare. Go from your sherry smoke to your cherry smoke and mix it up a bit. Have a bit of Motorhead in there. Listen to some heavy metal. It's going to be a great night. Me and Mickey are going to fly through that on the 29th of December. So reminder, $28.95 for the 4-pack comes through your door. But if you buy 2, you'll get free delivery. So get one for yourself and one for a friend. Why not? Seems like a reasonable proposition to make sure you get a bit of value there and get the free delivery. So there we have. There's our 4 deals, Richard. A quick summary. Friday, we've got the Moment Pack. Saturday, we've got the Seasonal Pack. Sunday, we got the Explorer Pack, Versatile Pack. And on Monday, we've got that nice little exclusive tasting pack for the Christmas tasting on the 29th of December. 4 deals, 4 days. Fabulous. And get in early if you sign up for it. So I think that's probably coming towards the end of where we got to go to. I'd first like to thank, obviously, Richard for helping us out today and helping me out. And the guys on the back, we got Connor, we got Carl, and the guys on the chat, we got Camille, we got Shane there helping us out on the chat. So thanks, guys, for answering all the questions. You've been very busy on the chat tonight, actually. So thanks for doing that. Richard, we've got a few things coming up soon, have we, as well? A few shows and things?
Yeah, so we've got next 2 shows we've got the Mackmyra Inn is open again this Friday, Friday 27th, so 6 o'clock. Please come and join us for your post-work end of the week drinks. We're joined by Justine Hazelhurst, who the founder of Cask Whisky, people involved in the Fife Whisky Festival, as well as writing multiple different articles for people like Malt and various whiskey publications. So very much a whiskey person. Really looking forward to speaking to Justine. Wednesday next week, we're joined by the Swedish Whiskey Girl. If you don't know her from social media, Mackmyra Nilsson, and I really hope I've said her name right. But if not, I'm not going to fret too much, because one of the things she's going to do next week on Mackmyra Live with myself and Mickey is teach us, school us on how to pronounce some of the names of the whiskies that we've been.
I'm glad I'm not on that show.
I'm really excited about having the pair of them on over the next two shows. So Mackmyra Inn Friday at 6 p.m. and Mackmyra Live next Wednesday 7 o'clock. So hopefully we can see some or all of you there.
Well, I'm going to remind you one last time to do set your alarms this weekend for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. If you sign up, you will get an email with the link to those early bird links to allow you in a little bit earlier. So sign up for the newsletter, and you'll get those links, and set your alarm early, grab those deals, and have a great Christmas. And hopefully I'll see you guys on the tasting on the other side of Christmas on the 29th, as it were. So from me, from Richard, I guess it's Scarl, and good night, Richard.
Scarl, yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. See you next time.
Thank you. Good night.
Yeah.